Check 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2. Hello there. 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2 3 4. The number of the counting shall be 3, neither 2 nor 4. 5 is right out. Check 1 2 3 4 5. Mic check 1 2. Talkie 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 1 2 3 4 5. I did. Oh. That's because it's a Mackie. There we go. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Testing 1 2 3 4. The number of the counting shall be 3, neither 2 nor 4. 5 is right out. And thou shalt lob the holy hand grenade of Antioch at thy foe and blow him to tiny bits in thy mercy. Thank you. Great movie, by the way. Monty Python, The Holy Grail. It's a classic. It's kind of like The Stooges. If you don't like that, you're probably not going to like, Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Welcome to the Starlight Room. I've just started my set, too. Oh, well. Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the University of Tulsa, welcome back to the BOK Center for today's Between Rounds interviews, featuring the 4 winning schools from yesterday's first round action. Today's sessions are 40 minutes long per school, equally divided between the student athletes and the head coach. Same housekeeping rules are in effect today. Please silence all cell phones if you have not done so already. Wait for our mic holders to ask a question. Let them know if you have a follow-up. No video of any sort from the audience, please. And we're going to go 20 minutes here. The Red Raiders are with us first. They play Buffalo, 5:10 Central Time tomorrow, first game. Davide Moretti, Jared Culver, Tariq Owens, Matt Mooney represent the student body for the Red Raiders, and we are open for questions. Right there. Thank you.
Yeah, Cliff Brunt, Associated Press. Jared, what stands out to you about C.J. Massenberg as you watch him and prepare to match up with him?
He's a great player on both sides of the ball. He's a 3-level scorer. He can score at all 3 levels. And, I mean, he plays with a lot of heart from what we've seen. So, I mean, it's going to be great to play against him and his team.
To follow up on that question, and this is for any of the players, Jeremy Harris, who's kind of been C.J. Massenberg's reinforcement, how do you evaluate him? How do you prepare for, Buffalo's depth at guard?
Tariq, please.
They're a really skilled team. They get out and push it. Jeremy's a good shooter, good scorer. So, it's just something we got prepared for, getting out for them to run in transition.
Right here on the right. Go ahead.
All right, so just for all the players, y'all have had a little bit of time to get over yesterday's win, move forward. Just what are some of the thoughts about the Buffalo matchup, Matt? I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, we're happy we got away with the win yesterday, but we're locked in here on Buffalo. They're a really, really good team, really well coached. They were in the tournament last year and won. They're not complacent with just getting a win in the tournament. They've only lost 3 games on the year, so it's a really dangerous team that shoots the 3 well, gets up and down in transition, and they're scrappy on D, so we're ready for a battle.
Tariq, go ahead with that question as well.
Yeah, like Matt just said, they're a really aggressive team, get up and down. It's going to be a great battle as we play them. They're a really tough team, so just looking forward to playing them.
Yeah, Tariq, just wanted to ask you about Nick Perkins, obviously a big guy, a strong guy, plays big. Can you talk a little bit about how well-equipped you guys are to deal with somebody who plays that way?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a team effort. He's really good in the post. He's got some moves down there. He's really aggressive. So, we're going to just stick to our principles and stick to playing how we play, just take the team approach to it.
Thank you.
Davide, does this team, Buffalo team, remind you of anybody that y'all played this year?
No, they're unique. They're really good players. They have really good players, and they're really talented. And we focus on them because I think they play really hard and really tough. So we're just trying to be focused on them and on our side of the floor, like trying to play defense and stay together all the way through the game.
This question's for Jared. Where do you think your team's advantage is against a team like Buffalo, and where do you think your team's disadvantage is?
I wouldn't say really an advantage or a disadvantage, but we try to stick to who we are, and we'll see how the game plays out, and you really see the advantage and disadvantage after the game.
This is for Matt. We know that Buffalo likes to run. We know that you guys can run, but probably don't like to as much as they do. How important will controlling the tempo be?
Yeah, we want to play March basketball, so it's taking good shots, having good possessions, taking care of the ball, and then trying to limit them running. Definitely, they're really, really good at it, but we want to try to limit that as much as possible.
Yep, right back there, Karen.
For Matt or Tariq, because you guys are were new to the program, where does the defensive attitude and intensity come from? How much did you feel it from the day you walked in the door, and how hard has it been to kind of learn to play up to the style of defense that's been so successful?
We'll have Matt first, then Tariq.
Yeah, that defensive intensity comes from our coaching staff. I've told this story a couple times, but I just remember like the first game of the year, I came out the game 2 or 3 minutes in the game, and Coach Adams was on me. He said, "You got any steals? You got any deflections? You know, what have you done?" And in my head, I'm like, it's only been 2 minutes, you know. But that's just what they expect out of us. They challenge us every day. And then for us guards, you know, we try to get out after the ball and get into it because we know we have great help like Tariq and Norns down low, ready to block shots. So it's just it's something we work on every day, and the coaches challenge us.
Yeah, like Matt said, you know, the intensity really starts at the top with our coaching staff. Since I got here day one, it's always been an emphasis, you know, just being aggressive and intensity on defense. And, you know, me coming in, that's just the kind of player I was. I'm a defensive player, so, you know, it's something that I bought into. And then, you know, it's just an attitude that our team is taking on, just a mindset that every guy on the floor takes on, playing defense and locking in. I think that's something that we really enjoy doing as a team.
Yep, right here.
Jarrett, what is your specific approach coming into the NCAA tournament and into this game?
For me, it just last year got a little experience, got a taste of going far to the Elite Eight in the tournament. So I'm relying on my experience, and you got to be mentally and physically ready each and every game, and you get a one-day break between this 4-game tournament that we're playing in. So just taking care of your body and just get mentally and physically ready every game is my approach, and I feel like that's the team approach as well.
Matt, George Schroeder here with USA Today. So I'm intrigued by what you were talking about the first game. And without casting aspersions on any previous team you've ever played on, how different is that approach? And then secondly, how different do you think that approach is from different opponents you guys have played all year in terms of the defensive intensity being so, I guess, intense?
So you said you were intrigued by what I was talking about the first game? You mean
just talking about the difference in defensive intensity, and obviously it's not just that first game, but that was a good anecdote. How different is that than anything you've ever been a part of before, what this whole defensive intensity and mindset? And then how different do you think it is based on what you've seen with a lot of the opponents you play?
Yeah, so, you know, in my previous schools, I wasn't challenged as much defensively as I am here. And here at Texas Tech, that's kind of our DNA. And when I was getting recruited, everyone told me, you know, if you go there, you're going to have to play defense. And I was like, you know, okay, you know, I think I can play defense. But, you know, everybody has to play defense or you're not going to play. So everybody on our roster plays D. And then as far as our defense compared to other teams, you know, it's hard for me to say. I just know that that's something that when people talk about Texas Tech, usually the word tough and defense is going to come up, and we take pride in that.
Anything else for the gentleman from Texas Tech? Okay, gentlemen, you are excused. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The head coach will be up at 1:55 sharp. Thank you very much. Head coach of the Red Raiders is with us, Chris Beard. Remember, name and affiliation when you ask a question for the first time. Thank you very much. We're going to have Chris open up with a statement in this day between games, and then we'll go to questions. Chris, please.
It's the best time of year for those of us involved in college basketball. You just try to live for another day. So certainly yesterday, not only winning the game, but getting to go back to the hotel and continue to work. Never take it for granted, you know, here in a few hours, I guess, to what there'll be 32 teams left. Is that right? Not a math major. Huh? 32? 32 now? Just trying to get to that 16, so just enjoying being around these guys. We don't want it to end. Love these guys. We're coaching. They're working hard. Tomorrow, very challenging game. Buffalo, a team we have a lot of respect for. You don't win 30-something games in the season if you're not really good. So to us, we've told our guys this is a Big 12 game. These players could play in the Big 12. Coach does a great job. They have an identity with how aggressive they are, explosive offensively. So these are really, really good players, a great coach, a great team. Just like we always say, we'll have to play our best game of the year to advance.
First question's here. Then we have 2, 3. Go.
Jonah Bronstein, Niagara Falls Gazette. Wondering what your impressions are of Jeremy Harris, and I believe you were involved a little bit recruiting him out of junior college, and maybe some of your recollections of him back then and you know what he's become in the last 2 years.
Yeah, Jeremy's a guy that played for a great junior college coach, Jay Powell, at Gulf Coast Community College in Panama City Beach, Florida. We did recruit Jeremy when we first got to Texas Tech. So you always kind of pull for those guys. I loved his family, his parents, and remember the official visit. And I really tried to watch Buffalo every chance I get, you know, because of Jeremy. Not only him, I just have, you know, I'm a former junior college coach. And so how Buffalo has used junior college players to make this run and build this program has been very, very impressive. See those guys out on the road on the circuit and always congratulate them when they sign good players. And certainly they had a great team last year and an even better team this year. So I'm happy for Jeremy and his family. It's worked out great for him. Not looking forward to coaching against him, but I am very proud of him and the college experience he's had.
Joe Yeager inside the Red Raiders. Coach, Buffalo's guards, they got guys who could shoot it, guys who can drive it, guys who can drive it and shoot it, and a bunch of them. So what's the key going to be to basically try to contain those guys?
You're scaring me with that question, man. Anything else they can do we got to worry about it? No, they're really good players. Like I started, these are some of the best players in college basketball. These are guys that would not only play in the Big 12 but would succeed. It's a really good team. It's one of the top teams in the country. So you know you're not going to stop great players. You've got to try to take away something. You've got to kind of pick and choose your times. Certainly with Buffalo, an explosive three-point shooting team, but also equally good with the drive. And they have a real inside game. So you know we can't stop these guys one-on-one. It's going to be team defense. It's going to be 40 minutes of focus. We're just going to have to win possessions.
Cliff Brund, Associated Press. You mentioned these guys could play in the Big 12. And, you know, Massenburg scored 43 against West Virginia. So, you know, obviously he could produce at that level. What stands out most to you about him?
I think he's fearless. It looks to me like a guy that's, you know, thinks he's the best player on the floor, and that's how all the great ones do. I watched that double overtime game. I remember watching it in the office. I don't think we played that night, so we're always watching games. And on a side laptop, we've got the Big 12 games going on. And you come up for air every once in a while and just watch the games. And we got really locked into that game. We watched the last 8 minutes and the 2 overtimes. And I think that was just kind of those of us in college basketball knew how good Buffalo was going to be, but that was kind of the opening deal nationally. Man, these guys are good. I think that got them in the top 25 where they belonged all year long. So. But with him specifically, I just think he's a fearless kind of guy. I'd love to coach him. Looks to me like he competes, scores on all 3 levels. Looks to me like he's got a little bit of chip on his shoulder. Familiar with him, being from Texas, and so he's a guy that we have a lot of respect for. Dynamite player.
Yeah, Chris, John Hoover, the Sporting News and the Franchise. As basketball, especially in the NBA level, has evolved toward analytics and three-point shooting, movement, things like that, your defense seems to have gotten better. Players were up here just now talking about the intensity that you guys play with and the standard that's here. Is it easier to coach guys to buy into selling out for defense, or is it easier to go into the analytics and find three-point shooters?
Yeah, I don't think coaching's really changed in my time. I mean, good players want to be coached. I think what's kind of changed is society and social media and all this, but the actual player wants to be coached. We had 90 minutes out here a second ago, and those seniors are looking at me right in my eyes. Coach, help us, man. You know, good players want to be coached hard. So, you know, and in recruiting, you know, in college basketball, you get to coach the guys you recruit. That's why I've always had so much respect for successful high school coaches that have done it over time with consistency, because for the most part, they don't choose who they get to coach. We do. So for us in recruiting, we get guys that want to play defense, want to be coached at a high level, and go from there. And I think, you know, tomorrow's game, I'd put Buffalo. I know we get a lot of attention for our defense, which we appreciate. We work hard, but Buffalo is just as good. This is a defensive team, to me. They get a lot of credit for their offense and talent. These dudes guard, man. They play hard. Coach makes them play hard. It's going to be a great college basketball game. We're excited to be a part of it. With the analytical part of the question, it just only helps. These are things that we always used to dig up, but now you can get it by a point. You know, I remember back in the VHS days, we would just watch tape and we'd, hey, let me see every shot this guy's taken this year. You know, and me and Pat would look at Coach. We'd be on those VCRs and it would take hours and hours and hours. Now you just hit the button and it's there. But I think a lot of the analytics are out there for everyone now, but those of us in coaching, we've always kind of had those numbers.
Heather Geller, Fox 23. I see your daughter sitting here in front of you right now. Noticed Margot at a practice on Thursday shooting layups with the team. Just what's it like having them on the road here with you, and just also seeing the team rally behind them at practice when they're out there shooting with the guys? What's all that experience like for you?
Yeah, March is such a special time, especially with us, because it'll kind of tie into the girls' spring break from time to time, whether it be Big 12 tournament or national tournament. So just a chance for them to be a part of this is pretty cool. You know, we talk a lot about family in our program, and so I just one of many things why I respect our players so much is how they treat other people, and my daughters will be at the top of that list. So we just got a special group of guys, and character's a part of who we try to be, and you know, I appreciate how they treat my daughters, and it's just cool to have them around this time of year.
Chris, Rachel Lindsay from the Buffalo News. Going back to Jeremy Harris, from what you've watched of him and scouted from Buffalo so far, what do you think it is that's, you know, really made him so productive in the postseason? I think he's averaging in double figures of the last 6 or 7 games.
Well, I'll go back first. I think he's been coached. You know, a lot of times he's getting coached at a high level right now at Buffalo, obviously. But Jay Powell did a great job with him at Gulf Coast in Panama City. He was a guy that we reached out to in recruiting because we knew how he was getting coached on a daily basis in that league, and that's arguably the best junior college league in the country, or one of them. Then with Jeremy, he's always just been skilled size. You know, he can do it all. He's not a big, he's not a guard. He's just a player, plays without the ball. Good defensive player, good athlete. I think he made a great decision because his coaches are using him about as well as you can use a player. They put him in great situations to be successful.
Buffalo has some good, aggressive defensive guards. Just curious your thoughts on them, and philosophically how important ball pressure is to good team defense.
Yeah, again, I think this is 2 of the best defensive teams in the tournament playing in the second round. I think both of us rely on different parts of our defense, but it seems to me like ball pressure is important to both of us. You know, we've watched a lot of tape last night and this morning. We understand it's not going to be easy just to come down and run our offense. You know, they're going to try to take us out of things, but we're prepared for these moments. In the Big 12, we play a lot against some of the best defenses in college basketball and aggressiveness, and I think it's going to be a great second-round game. I'd much rather be watching this game as a fan than having to participate in it, because I think Buffalo is really, really good, but this is what this tournament is. You know, like with each game, it's going to get more difficult, and that's certainly the case with us.
Jarrett Culver, what has he learned in his time at Texas Tech about playing on a big stage and at a high level? He said up here in preparation was really important, but what else has he learned kind of in this path coming back to the tournament?
Well, you'd have to ask Jarrett that himself. I mean, from my perspective, I've just seen an overall growth, obviously physically, weight room, mentally, embracing competition, one possession at a time, valuing possessions. He's worked on his game. He's gone from a non-top 100 recruit to one of the best players in college basketball. And as much as myself and everyone in Lubbock would love to have him in Lubbock next year, there's a real possibility that's probably not going to happen. Even though I told Culver I'd love to have him, I said we would, give him 2 lockers next year and 3 sets of practice gear or whatever he needs.
Anything else for the head coach of Texas Tech? All right.
Thank
Chris,
you.
Thank you very much. Good luck. Buffalo student athletes are up next at 2:20 sharp. 2:20 for Buffalo. Buffalo Bulls are with us. They play Texas Tech tomorrow, 5:10. First game of 2 games. Dante Carruthers, C.J. Massenberg, Nick Perkins represent the student body. And we're going to go right to questions for the 3 gentlemen here. First question's right there. Thank you.
This is for Nick and CJ. What do you guys see that they do defensively that makes them so tough?
CJ first, then Nick, please.
It's really their help defense, and of course it helps to have the type of athletes that they have, you know, with the length that they have and their jumping ability. So you beat the first line of defense, it's always going to be a second guy ready to challenge your shot or even block your shot, and they're also good at taking charges. Everybody on their team takes charges, so that's one of the reasons why they're good on defense.
Oh yeah, kind of what CJ said. You know, the charges, and also they kind of force everything one way, which is, you know, it's kind of different than what we used to seeing, and I think I think that's what kind of makes their defense so good.
Cliff Brunn, Associated Press. CJ, what stands out to you most about Jarrett Culver?
We actually played on the same AAU team, but he's younger than me. He's a sophomore, so I didn't really play with him, but we played for the same organization. But he's just an overall scorer. You know, he's a guy who can score at all 3 levels. He got the turnaround fade going. He's a really good athlete. If you don't put a body on him, he's susceptible to dunk the ball on you and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to fight him, play him tough, and he's a good player. But I'm also a good player and a good defender. So we'll see what happens.
Chuck Carlton, Dallas Morning News. Question for CJ. Could you just walk me through your path from South Oak Cliff to Buffalo, and was Tech or any of the other Big 12 teams in on you in terms of the recruiting process? What was that like for you?
No, I didn't really get any Big 12 or any of those offers or even any looks at all from that. Buffalo actually got me from a tip from a Louisiana Tech coach at the time. I was playing as an unsigned senior, so I was most likely going to go to the junior college route before Buffalo called me. So they seen me play as an unsigned senior. They liked my defense. They had seen my numbers, but they didn't really know that I could really shoot the ball like I can. And then I got there on my visit, had to work out. Still didn't have a scholarship. They called me up on a visit, but I still didn't have a scholarship at the time. So I had to work out and pretty much earn my scholarship then and there.
This question's for any of the players. Jeremy Harris, he's been in double figures, I think 6 or 7 the last games. What is it, about this time of year that causes him to elevate his game? What have you seen out of him? Does he prepare differently? Does he take these games a little more seriously? Not that he doesn't take the game seriously, but what is it about Jeremy that brings him to another level in March?
Dante, you're first, then Nick will be second.
Well, as of right now, I'm staying with him, so I just see how he really takes everything more seriously. I think now Jeremy's just really out here having fun. He's not letting all the stuff and the critics get to him about his bad shooting slumps, but Jeremy's the type of guy that can really get hot, and I think he's really just out here having fun.
I would just say, it's March. Big-time players show up in March, and I think Jeremy's a really big-time player. And I think, since the MAC conference started, he's been showing everybody, what type of player he was. I think he stopped focusing on, what's going to happen after this. And, you're a senior, you tend to do that a little bit, and I think he was putting a little too much pressure on himself. But ever since he stopped doing that, he's been playing unbelievable.
This is for CJ and Dante. I think it was kind of overlooked maybe how well Javon played in this last game. What have you two seen over the last 2 or 3 months in his game because he seems to be playing with a lot of confidence right now.
CJ first, then Dante, please.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. Javon's been playing unbelievable basketball. Really been an X factor in most of these games. He's given us great defense, consistent outside shooting, athleticism. He's finishing on the break. He's getting loose balls, getting steals. He's pretty much doing it all for us. And it's good to have a guy like that that's consistently bringing the same thing every night, and you know what you're going to get out of him. And he's showing flashes of his greatness and for years to come, what he's capable of.
Yeah, just to add on, CJ pretty much touched on everything, but he's starting to really see like the stuff that he can do with his size. He's a big 6'3", 6'4", physical guard, can shoot it, so that's pretty tough at this level. And you know, Javon is the type of guy that take pride in everything, and his defense picked up tremendously, and that's one thing that our coach has been loving as of right now, and of course his shooting.
David Collier from the ABC affiliate in Lubbock, Texas. For Nick and CJ, first off, is Texas Tech defense the best defense that you guys have probably seen this season? And to follow up on that, do you guys get up more knowing that it's one of the best offenses in the nation against one of the best defenses in the nation? You want to prove yourself against a group like that?
Nick, you're first, then CJ, please.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, Texas Tech, the defense is really good. I don't want to say it's the best defense we played all year because we really haven't actually played against it. You know, so we don't really know. And you know, other teams match up differently depending on who you playing. So I mean, obviously we don't know yet. But I mean, it's gonna be good. You know, their defense rated high. They do a little different, but I don't think they play anybody like us all year. You know, the Big 12 is a little different with the matchups. You know, teams play a little slower. I think the two teams who beat them this year in conference play, you know, played a little faster. So it's going to be good to see how they match up with our offense. You know, are they going to be able to get out and run? So it's going to be a game. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I would agree with Nick. You can go off analytics and things like that, but we won't actually know until we play it how good their defense is. But we are, I don't know the exact numbers, but we might be top 30 in the nation in both offense and defense. So we feel like we're forced to be reckoned with too. So yeah.
Paul Peck, Bulls Radio Network. For Nick and CJ, you've played teams with a lot of length before. Sometimes that you've struggled. When you go up against a team that's top 15 in the country in blocking shots, do you have to not worry if a shot gets blocked, or do you have to fight the urge to want to change the way you shoot, worrying about there being, you know, somebody in your way like that?
Nick, lead us off, please.
That's a good question. But I think it's just, you know, you just got to go after it, you know. I mean, shoot the ones you can shoot and, you know, pass the ones you can't. I think, you know, you can get a little ahead of yourself when you start guessing, oh, is he going to block it or this? You know, if you can make the shot, shoot it. If you can't, pass it out. You know, it's always open man. So I think that's where you take that route.
Yeah, you pretty much can't really overthink it because you know that they have shot blockers. Usually the shot blocking comes from the help side, so if you beat your guy and the 7-footer come over and try to contest your shot, then he obviously left his guy, so you can try to hit him or the next rotation and just play free, you know, and yeah, just play free.
For Dante, CJ mentioned the fact that you guys are such a great defensive team. What do you guys need to do to slow down Jarrett Culver, and what are some of the other players you guys know you're going to need to stop as well?
Well, it's not just Culver. You know, those guys are a great team. They got 5 guys in the rotation. It's not just one guy out there playing basketball. They got a great point guard shooting almost 55%, 60% from 3. So we just got to key in on all guys. But Culver is a big piece of them. And that's something that our main guy is going to have to be ready for. So, I mean, we're going to do what we do.
Anything else for the Bulls of Buffalo? All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. You're excused. Head coach will be right up. Good job. Good job. Good job, guys. Good luck. Head coach of Buffalo is here. Nate Oates, we're going to ask him to start off with a statement about the day in between games, and then we'll go to questions. Nate, please.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit better than last year. Last year we've had that night game and had a quick turnaround. At least we got to play in the afternoon and got our legs under us a little bit last night and got to watch some video, with the evening to prepare for it. So then we don't play again until 5 o'clock tomorrow. So we got a little bit more time in between games than we did last year. I think our guys are a little bit more mature. Last year we were just really excited to get that first win in school history in the NCAA tournament. This year we'd already won last year. We were expected to win. We were the favored team. So I think our guys are a little bit more locked in, which we're going to need to be because Texas Tech's unbelievably good. They're hard to score on, and we've got our hands full. So but we've got a mature group. I really like our group, and I think they're pretty locked in here. Hopefully our bodies are rested enough and we can play with a lot of energy tomorrow.
Right, two on the right here side. Karen, thanks.
Coach David Collier from the ABC affiliate in Lubbock, Texas. I know you can't really assess since you haven't been on the court. Players mentioned that, but just looking at the tape, do you think this is the best defense that you guys will have faced this season?
The numbers say so. I always go to KenPom and try to pull all the analytics up. There was number one by their defensive efficiency, so they're supposed to be the best in the country. Then I did that before I even looked at the film. Then get to the film and figure out why they're number one. I mean, we take pride in our defense too. We were a lot better this year than we were last year. I think that's a big difference in the amount of wins we got this year versus last year, even though we were really good last year. And we pride ourselves on taking charges. I think Texas Tech probably takes more than we do. We pride ourselves diving on the floor for loose balls. I see them doing all the same stuff. They've got better rim protection than we probably have with some more athletic bigs inside, and they do it a little bit differently than we do it schematic-wise, but they're better. But shoot, I mean, our guys, we've got some seniors that really pride themselves in our defense too. So it's gonna be a good game between two tough, hard-nosed, hard-playing teams, in my opinion.
Coach Carlos Silva from the Lubbock Avalanche Journal, newspaper in Lubbock, Texas. From your perspective, how much has it helped to have those senior leaders, as you kind of mentioned, going into this, that have kind of gone through the games last year and obviously are kind of yearning to kind of get back even farther this year?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think that's part of the reason that we were so good this year is we've got 5 seniors. Typically, we've been more experienced than the teams we played. Now coming into tomorrow's game, you look at Texas Tech's roster, they got 3 seniors in their starting lineup. 2 of them are fifth-year seniors. Then the sophomore they've got is supposed to be a lottery pick. And then, you know, the other Moretti's shooting like 55% from 3. Like they're pretty good. So their experience is at the same level as ours. So a lot of, you know, they play hard and blue collar just like we are. A lot of the same attribute, which is there's a reason they were so good this year in the Big 12. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been crucial for us. Our guys are mature and can get locked into a scouting report at a much higher level with the experience they've had.
Then a last question for me, Coach. Obviously, in the NCAA tournament, you may be playing a team you may not have seen before. Have you seen Texas Tech before? Have you kind of crossed paths with Coach Beard at all throughout your career?
No, so there's kind of 2 aspects to that. So first off, I have not. I just met him for the first time in the hallway. Great guy. Friends of mine or friends of his, as is the case in this profession sometimes. But I will say this. I've respected him from afar for a long time. I mean, I'm a junkie. He's a junkie. I mean, he's coaching out of his car 6-7 years ago. Some, you know, semi-pro ball, whatever it is, to stay in the business. And now all of a sudden, next thing you know, he gets a D2 job, gets a Arkansas Little Rock. They, you know, bang, bang, bang. Next thing you know, he's one of the best coaches in the country. So from a guy that was a high school coach 6 years ago and a guy that, you know, really respects guys that maybe took a non-traditional route to get where they're at, I got a ton of respect for him and really look up to him that way. As far as watching them, I'm a big analytics guy. You know, midway through the year, I went and looked at the best defenses in the country and pulled a bunch of film on them. It was like them and Michigan, and I think maybe Gonzaga were the 3 that I pulled just to see if I could steal some ideas of what they're doing that we're not doing. And I took a pretty good look at them a few months ago, not having any idea that we'd have to play them. So I don't know if that helped at all or not. A lot of what I saw is they've got some great rim protection, and they send the ball right there. So he's obviously uses his personnel really well, and we don't really have the same type of personnel he does with you know, regards to that. But I did pick up a few things from their defense.
Josh Reed with the CBS affiliate in Buffalo. Nate, what is it that they do in particular defensively that makes them so good?
I think the best thing they do is they're just tough and physical and hard-nosed. Now, schematic-wise, they don't let you get to your stuff. I mean, they get the ball to a side. They keep it to the side. Their help defense is better than anybody in the country. When they come to help, they're coming aggressive, and they're trying to steal the ball. And look, if you put your head down on a drive, you're going to get a charge. They take charges better than anybody in the country. If you come and you're soft going to the rim, they're going to block your shot. So you're either getting a charge or getting your shot blocked. So we got to be really smart on our drives. We can't overdrive. We got to make sure we've got our spacing exactly right with guys where they're supposed to be. And I mean, our offense, we played against some pretty good defense, different ones. You know, Syracuse's zone was great, and we figured it out. But, you know, our offense is pretty good. I went through all the Big 12 numbers and analytics. Nobody in the Big 12 plays quite as fast as we do, so hopefully we can get out and transition a little bit like we've been able to do. But our defense is going to have to be elite in order to do that. It's hard to run off makes. It's a lot easier running off stops and rebounds and turnovers. So our defense is going to have to be elite, which will in turn help our offense.
Rachel Lindsay from the Buffalo News. Jeremy Harris, we've seen he's really elevated his game over the last few weeks. He went through a slump earlier this season, not a slump, but a lull. What did he do to break out of it and really catch fire over the last few weeks?
Turn from February to March. Jeremy shows up in March. You look at last year, everybody said he was in a slump last year, and all of a sudden it got winning time, and Jeremy, for whatever reason, turns it up. I mean, honestly, me and him talk. I personally took him through workouts for a week and rebounded for him and spent a lot of time with him. After a week, I said to him, I'm like, Jeremy, there's nothing wrong with your shot. They're all going in. He goes, yeah, I know. I said, well, then just shoot the ball. What are you doing? Quit being passive and be aggressive. And I think that was down in Ohio, the shoot around the night before the game at Ohio. And he, kind of since, and March came and he picked it up. But the other thing he's been doing well is he won the Hard Hat Award last game. I tell our guys, lose yourself in the game, rebound, get deflections, take charges, just do all the dirty, grimy work that, that people don't necessarily think about being hero play, and all of a sudden you just lose yourself in the game and your offense comes. So we kind of do a correlation. When you win the hard hat, you frequently also lead us in scoring. Jeremy won the hard hat last night and led us in scoring with 21. Nick Perkins had the highest plus-minus in the game and led us in scoring. So, and they both led us in rebounding too. So when they're both really active doing the other stuff, the offense follows. So I think he's also just gotten to the point where the more he thought about his shot, the worse it got. Like, quit thinking about your shot. Just, if you're open, shoot it, be aggressive. Think about making winning plays in every other area of the game, and your offense will come.
Coach, I think maybe it was overlooked by some people that how well Javon played in this last game, and then kind of how well he's played the last couple months. Where have you seen him grow since maybe the midway point of the season, and where's his confidence level right now?
As high as it's been since he's been in college. I mean, he's, again, a little bit the same with Jeremy. He's really started to pick his defense up over the last month and a half or so, and the offense followed. I mean, we put him on Dort, which is a tough matchup. I mean, Dort's arguably their best player. And until, Jeremy had that kind of weird, unfortunate, bad turnover where Dort hit the three off it. Until he hit that three, Dort only had 7 for the game, so he had 4 points. And I don't think he had him on Javon. If I remember right, I don't think Javon gave him a bucket. So for Javon to do the job that he did on Dort speaks volumes to where he's come since the beginning of this year. And we've got 2, I think, elite-level defenders in Carruthers and Jordan. Carruthers Defensive Player of the Year, and Jordan's right there with him. I mean, he'd be the odds-on favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year in our league next year because he was right there with Carruthers all year this year. So we got those 2 already, and when you add in Javon, that gives us a pretty lethal backcourt as far as our defensive weapons go. And then Massenburg's pretty good himself, too, getting locked in. So that's really, to me, where Javon's picked it up is on the defense. And then, you were at a lot of our games. His rebounding came – I mean, he won us some games on his offensive rebounding just because he's playing so hard, playing the right way. And for him to be a sophomore doing that, he's got a huge upside here in this program.
Nate, I think a lot of athletic departments have their own mental skills coach or guy, but maybe not as many basketball programs have their own specific coach helping them out in that regard. Can you explain just your decision to bring in Arnie and maybe how he's helped you guys over the last few years?
Yeah, so I kind of got to know him in the community a little bit through different things, and he kind of broached it with me, like, I think I can help you. That was not last year, the year before. So I'm always open to, getting help. And I really think, if you go back 20 years, I think that strength and conditioning coach was like some programs had it, some didn't. Now everybody in the country has it. If you don't have one, you're not competing at the highest level. You're not a Division I program, really. I think that's the next step. It's so important to me, and as a high school guy, you're always thinking of different ways you can reach them mentally to not necessarily just motivate them, but just get their minds right. And I think as a coach, it's my job to help grow these men into young men that you can send out into society. And I think the better character young men you have, the better your team's going to be. And if you do it for the sole purpose of winning games, it's all wrong. You do it because it's the right thing to do. So it's my job as a coach to help we get them as young men or boys coming out of high school. And when we get done with them, they're supposed to go into society. They're men now on their own. They're not going back home to mommy. So to have a character coach, a mental skills coach that can do all types of different things. And Arnie's got a background. He's a licensed psychotherapist, a counselor, all that. He's able to do one-on-one sessions when we need it. He's been great with the team. So we did it part-time 3 years ago, or not last year, the year before. And then that summer, he said, I either want to be all in or, he's kind of all in or not. So we sat down and we developed a whole culture playbook with him and our staff. We instituted it that summer. He came in twice a week during the year, meets with the team once a week, comes in another day, does individual meetings if guys need him, or just observes at practice and there to bounce ideas off. And then last summer we did a whole summer retreat where we went down. It's been really good. Our guys like it. They respect him. You know, the fact that he's a licensed therapist, he's not, by law, he's not able to even share with me some of the stuff the guys share with him. So they've got a guy that they can go to when they've got off the court issues that's trained on how to do it and can help them work through them, and knowing that, you know, coaches aren't necessarily even going to get all the information. He's not allowed to share it all with me. So he's been great. I think it's been really helpful. I think a lot of programs are going to start to go that direction in the future.
Right there on the end. Thank you.
Jonah Bronstein, Niagara Falls Gazette. Your ball pressure, Dante, Devontae, having two guys like that, how valuable is it, and how much of a factor has that been in your team defensive success?
Huge. I mean, it takes teams out of what they want to do. It was big last year with the Arizona win. They wanted to get the ball into Ayton and Ristic. Ball pressure makes that really hard. You know, we fronted the post, get backside with all the pressure. They can't pinpoint passes. Yesterday against Arizona State, we had, you know, a size disadvantage inside. Again, the harder we pressure the ball, the more hard it is to get the ball in the post to make us pay for our size mismatch. And then on the other end, then, you know, we can stay with Jeremy at the 4 because our guards pressure the ball so hard and really help him out, guard another big, and that big can't guard Jeremy on the other end. So those guards know it. Jeremy knows it. They all work together. These guys love each other, and they really, you know, love helping each other out that way. These guards know that our bigs maybe are outmatched at times and need some help, and that ball pressure gives it. The other thing it does, it forces turnovers. I mean, you get a deflection, the ball's dead, they pick it up, and then all of a sudden everybody's blowing handoffs up. I mean, you saw, like, Remy Martin had a hard time getting the ball back to run their offense like they wanted to do, so it took them out of sync. And, you know, we're going to have to try to do some of the same. Now, it's going to be a little bit harder. Mooney's so big and strong, and Moretti's really smart, but it's still going to be big. It's who we are. I mean, we've got 5 non-negotiables on defense, and number one is ball pressure. Like, if we're not pressuring the ball in practice, we call it game over. You blow the whistle, game over, get on the inline, run your sprint, you lost the game. So this isn't something we turn up for the NCAA tournament. This is who we are through the course of the year.
Anything else for the head coach? All right. Nate, thank you very much. Best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, enjoy your night. Student Athletes of Houston up next at 3:10. 3:10 for Houston Student Athletes. Okay, Houston Cougars are with us, student athletes. Galen Robinson Jr., Corey Davis Jr. They will play Ohio State tomorrow night's second game after the first game with Buffalo and Texas Tech. We will go right to questions for the two student athletes. We're going to start right here in the front.
Mark Berman from Fox. For both you guys, talk about the challenges, and obviously your coaching staff is very good at putting game plans together, the challenges of prepping for a team you haven't played before and you only have a short time to do it. Both you guys.
Galen, please first.
It definitely poses as a big challenge because there's a level of unfamiliarity with them. We play in conference play, you play everybody twice, and a lot of guys you've played over the years, so you have a good feel for them. But this is a Big Ten team. Never played them before. Never played any of their. Well, we played one player last year, but for the most part, it's a really unfamiliar kind of feel to it. But we just have we trust in our coaches to get us a good game plan, and we're going to buy into it.
Yeah, I think this time around it just takes a level of focus that we don't like. We have to have another level of focus rather than like a regular season game of teams we've normally played or someone in our conference. We have to be very detail oriented and just trust our coaches because I feel like they do a great job with all our scouts. So we just have to just pay attention and just stick to all the details that they give us.
Corey, you've recently mentioned how focused this team feels, how locked in. Not that you weren't all season, but did that change right after the conference tournament in Memphis? When did you really feel that feeling start to change?
Honestly, all throughout the week before we played Georgia State, we just really had a level of focus. I think it started from the loss Sunday against Cincinnati. Ever since that game, we just really came in very prepared every practice, every shoot around, every film session. We just had a level of focus that I didn't normally feel nor see throughout the season. Not saying that we weren't focused throughout the season, but just I guess a higher standard of being focused.
Right in the back, please.
Yeah, Ron Stokes, WBNS Columbus. Second year in a row, you guys are playing a Big Ten school in the NCAA. Just your overall impression of the Big Ten as compared to your conference.
Galen, you're first, please.
They're a big, dominant, physical team. They got a dominant, dynamic five-man as well as other guards on the perimeter. So, it's definitely a different kind of feel, different kind of brand of basketball that we're used to playing in an opponent. But we just a bunch of dogs, and we're ready for anything that anybody may throw at us.
Yeah, just to reiterate what Galen said, they're a very methodical team. They know what they want to do. They run their sets. They play through who they want to play through. And like Galen said, it's a whole different type of basketball than we play because we like to run and gun, make everything fast plays, just play hard, aggressive. So we have to just like I said, just be focused and just ready for whatever. Just be ready for whatever they throw at us.
Daniel Gutierrez, KHOU in Houston. What is it about Coach Sampson's style that allows your brand of basketball to shine? Well, watch out. To shine even more. Coach Sampson's style. I mean, what is it about that breeds so much confidence in you guys?
Corey, you're first on this one, and we'll have an answer from Galen as well.
I think it just contributes to the freedom that Coach Sampson gives us, especially as guards. I mean, he has all the confidence in the world in us, and he just allows us to make plays, run the offense, just especially me and Galen, just basically do whatever we want on defense or whatever feels right to us. I mean, he gives us a lot of freedom, and I think that contributes to our confidence and how hard we play.
Oh, yeah. To piggyback on Corey said, he definitely gives us freedom, but more so he believes in our instincts. He tells us just to trust our instincts. Whatever we feel like we need to do, trust it and believe in it and do it because we have a bunch of guys who have pretty high basketball IQ, so for the most part, we know what to do in, let's say, a lot of emergency situations. So just trusting your instincts and just play with freedom, and he allows us to do that, and, thank him for that.
John Hoover, The Sporting News. A couple of days ago, Kelvin talked about his time in the NBA and the things that he learned. As a head coach, he said he never used to delegate game planning, but he learned in the NBA that's the way to do it. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of describe, both guys, please, Corey and Galen, describe how that process works for you guys when the game planning comes down from one of the assistant coaches?
Galen, lead us off, please.
Our coaches, they pretty much have similar styles. They're all pretty much detail-oriented. But Coach Sampson, he definitely has the final say if he sees an adjustment that needs to be made. But for the most part,
it's all about detail and knowing everything to the T. Personnel, game plan, schemes, all that stuff is all just tied into the big umbrella of the game plan.
Yeah, I think all of our coaches in general take a great pride in whatever scouts they're given. So that's like Galen said, they're very detail oriented. They'll know every player's strengths and weaknesses, what sets their run. Like they just know everything to the T, and they'll have us prepared every game.
Obvious, but your connection with Houston, Kelvin talked about yesterday, a couple days ago, how you were the first one to really buy into the vision and things were still in their foundational stage, but he got your buy-in and he was able to get others' buy-ins. How would you describe your connection to the program, the city, the fans, local basketball? I mean, it's so deep with you.
It's definitely a part of me, definitely a part of who I am, a big chunk of my heart. I'm just Houston in a nutshell. I don't even know what else to say. I love my city. Lived there my whole life, born and raised. I love my school. And I get to wear Houston on my chest. Can't put a price tag on that. You can't. And, I'm thankful Coach Sampson, he gave me the opportunity to do so, in front of my family and friends every night. And, I'm just blessed to be in this position.
Just curious, in terms of Kelvin in the NBA, does his time there, does this show up for you guys at all? Does that manifest in practice or film study or communication with you guys, just the time that he spent in the NBA?
Corey?
Yeah, a big chunk of his coaching style definitely trickles from the NBA, and you can tell through the way he runs his offense, how he just runs the program in general. You can feel like it's a level of intensity and just like overall intelligence that's not normal in most Division I coaches, so you can definitely tell, especially when he speaks.
And Coach Sampson, he likes to tell stories, and he has very vivid imagery. So we're like, son, who was the hardest guy Greg Popovich used to coach on? Tim Duncan. He loved to be coached. Those guys love to be coached. I think him being around those guys, and those are Hall of Fame, first team Hall of Fame guys, and knowing that they want to be coached and that coaches and Coach Popovich used to get on them like he does us. It definitely makes us feel like we're not alone because everybody gets the same treatment. But Coach Sampson, he's definitely the smartest person I've been around, and in terms of just knowing what to do. So I definitely think the NBA definitely helped him.
For both you guys, what if you? I'm assuming you've noticed the support you're getting, whether it's in Houston at these watch parties, or all the fans that are here from Houston or UH fans. What have both you guys thought about the support you're getting on this journey?
Corey, you're first, please.
It's just absolutely amazing just to know we have the whole city behind our backs, and it just goes to show us how much they support us. Even when they can't make the games, they'll just get that extra effort to start a watch party and almost have the whole entire city at watch. So it's cool. We always get like pictures and little messages of like the watch parties or videos or whatever the case may be, and it's really cool.
Oh yeah, it's definitely cool, definitely a blessing, but it's just a testament to how far we've come. You know what I mean? I remember there were times we didn't have that. Like I said, we used to go to frat houses and they used to rush us off the doorstep. But we now have everybody's support, and I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful for the fans and the support they give us.
Hi, Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch. There's a lot of talk about Tom Izzo in the last few days. I'm just curious, 1 to 5 with Coach Sampson, 1 being mellow and 5 being ultra fiery. Where does he fall on that little scale, and have you seen him mellow at all since you've been here?
Galen, first, please. Galen?
What is 10? Coach Sampson, Coach Sampson and I personally, we have a different relationship. So, he's a fiery guy, very fiery guy. But at the end of the day, that it's from the heart, and he means well. You know what I mean? And a lot of times as competitors, we get competitive. But Coach Sampson definitely sees past that, and he just knows me, for the most part, and that's just a great characteristic to have as a coach.
Yeah, honestly, Coach Sampson is the first coach I've ever had that I've actually feared and loved at the same time. He's just one of those individuals that have a personality that's just unmatched. I mean, he'll definitely show that he loves you, but just in his own way. He's just so passionate about everything that he does, and it's just he just has an amazing, just a charisma about him.
That's a great word, charisma. Yeah.
Expands the vocab, my guy.
It's a great word.
Oh.
But yeah.
Yes, question right there in the middle.
Quentin Martinez, Corpus Christi Caller-Times. Galen, you talked about it. It's a little bit of a leap of faith on your part, you know, to get to see where the program is now versus where it was when you were being recruited. You know, could you have imagined that you guys would be here, you know, 4 years later?
I've always dreamed about it, but I never thought I'd actually get here. You know, when I was making my decision, I wasn't worried about no March Madness, worried about this, worried about that. I just wanted to just play first and foremost. But you know, the more I played and the more I realized we actually had my freshman year. I realized we had a really good team. We just didn't make the NCAA tournament. But it slowly but surely became more of a reality. More of a goal, and it started to seem more attainable. And I think last year we definitely kicked down the door for years of success to come in the future. So, but to be one of the first guys to buy into a vision, I'm just blessed that I did, because Lord knows where I'd be.
Yeah, Ohio State players were saying last night that part of their recent success, is buy-in, that they're buying in finally late in the season. What does that mean to you when someone says buy into a program, buy into what coach is trying to do? What does that look like?
Corey?
I think buying into whether it be a team or a program as a whole is just sacrifice. And a lot of people don't understand the things, especially kids that come out of high school and thinking they're more than what they actually are, and knowing that they, instead of just being like a main guy or that go-to guy, you have to find your role and just become great at that. And that's probably the start of buying into any program or in any team in general.
Coach Kellen, he has this saying, just surrender. You know what I mean? And when you surrender, you just become selfless. And when you become selfless, it's easier to make that transition to buying into a program and the vision, as well as buying into the culture. And once you buy in, you have a chance to do something special. And that's really the big key, is getting everybody on the team to buy in, from 1 through 12, 1 through 13.
Anything else for the Cougars of Houston? All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Yes, best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Terrific stuff. Thank you. Terrific stuff. He can come early, yes. Whenever he's ready, actually. Okay, we're ready.
That's why I let these two, because they're good. Imagine Graham Brady up there. They did it magnificent.
Now the head coach of the Cougars, Kelvin Sampson, we're going to ask him to make a statement about the day in between games, and then we'll go to questions. Kelvin, please.
Blessed to still be playing. It's after tomorrow night, I was just talking with the lady outside. This time last week, everybody was excited about Selection Sunday, and it's kind of like Christmas morning. You don't know where you're going to be or who you're playing, and so much excitement about that. Tomorrow night, there's only 16 teams left, so a lot of basketball to be played, and we're excited to having won last night and get a chance to play again on Sunday.
Kelvin, John Houston's been with you guys since '97, and obviously he predates you, but He's one of those people who's seen so many things happen, the rebuild of the program. What's it mean to somebody like him that you've dealt with for 5 years to be in this situation and having watched this program go through so many different changes?
It's those trainers are they're worth their weight in gold. It's they have so many responsibilities. John and I talk at 8:30 every morning, during the season, from October 1st until unless we're on a road trip together. We go through all the injuries. He has a great feel for people. Kids will talk to the trainer in ways that maybe they won't talk to the coach. But John's just a great person. I've only seen John cry one time, and that his son got accepted to Naval Academy, and when his son left, Trey, because he's really, really tight with his family. His wife was a gymnast at the University of Kentucky, and Trey's got accepted into the Naval Academy, and just a big-time family man from a great family. I was impressed with John from the get-go. I had a great trainer at Oklahoma, Alex Brown, and when I came over to University of Houston, Alex called and told me about John, how good he was. So, there's a couple positions that you don't want to change, and the trainer's one of them. We've been blessed to have John for these 5 years, and he's great for this basketball program.
Kelvin, you good?
No, you got to say who you are.
Okay, I'm sorry. Mark Berman from Fox Houston.
Okay, now you can go.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't look for favors.
Vet move on your part. You'd like to talk about the challenges of prepping for a team you've never played, but you haven't played, and you only have 1 day's notice or so, a couple days' notice. It's part of the tournament, I know, but the challenges of prepping for a situation like that.
Yeah, we're all in it. Whoever's playing today or tomorrow is doing the same thing. I was watching a game before I left the room. Who was it? LSU in Maryland. You just do the best you can. I don't overanalyze it or worry about it. It's we watched them play last night and didn't know who we were going to play until later. It's after 11 o'clock, I think. But I just watched them on my laptop. I just watched a couple of their games. We played Michigan last year in the second round. So we're familiar with a lot of their players. So I watched them play Michigan just to see how Michigan defended some of their actions. But whoever you play the second round is always going to be a good team, and Ohio State's a good team.
Kelvin, Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch. A lot of talk about Tom Izzo and his methodology the last few days. You've done this a long time. I assume you have some thoughts on this. Is this a societal issue, or what do you think of the heat he's taking, and is it warranted, is it not?
There's coaching is is all about relationships. I've seen that guy before, the Tom Izzo. I've seen that guy, but I also have seen the relationship with that coach and that kid, and that kid embraces that and expects it. And I think it's one of those things where it looks a lot worse than it actually is. I don't know enough about banking to comment on a bad investment. I don't know enough about what a good surgery is or a bad surgery. The thing about coaching is everybody's a coach. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody knows what they can do or what they can't do. But the only thing that bothers me is evaluating a person you don't know. It's amazing how we hold other people to standards we won't hold our own self. So to me, that's Tom Izzo coaching his team. That's the way he coaches. And there's not a kid that signs with Tom that doesn't know what they're getting into, and yet they do. So I don't see a problem.
1 being mellow and 5 fiery, and they said, what about 10? Have you
Was
mellowed?
that 5 and 5, or is that how you got to the 10?
Yeah, I don't know.
They both said 5, and so we added the 2 together? Or?
Have you mellowed or not? And just your journey in terms of...
I don't know if that's for me to answer. I mean, Montana Tech was a long time ago. You know, when I was at Montana Tech, I didn't know whether I was on foot or horseback. You know, I was just a young guy that, you know, when you're young and you lose a game, you never think you're going to win another one. But I wasn't a very good coach, though. I didn't know how bad maybe bad's the wrong term. I didn't know how inadequate I was as a coach until I got older. And sometimes I always felt like I should have called those kids at Montana Tech and apologized to them for not knowing any better than I did. I tried to get better as I was 24 when I went there. I became the head coach when I was 25. So that just shows you how hard or bad a job it was. They'd hire a guy like me. If it was a good job, they'd have never hired me. They just said, well, here, give it to him. What the hell we got to lose? I don't think they'd ever had a winning season. But I tried hard. But you know, my dad was real. My dad always wore a coat and tie. You know, that's one of the reasons why I always wear a coat and tie. He always did. He just always wore a coat and tie. You know, he always had a towel over his shoulder, but never heard him raise his voice much. You know, but that was his personality. You know, so I didn't try to. I tried to be like him in a lot of ways, but I tried to be like me more. You'd have to ask those guys from Montana Tech and Washington State. I'm sure they would tell you the same thing, though.
Sure, you did the best you could at the time. Kelvin, John Hoover, The Sporting News. I got interested in what you said a couple of days ago about delegating and what you learned from Pop and what you learned from Kevin McHale about delegating. On your staff, logistically, what does that look like, the communication process? Do the guys divvy it up? Do you assign certain games to certain coaches, or do you have a coach who's in charge of one specific part of the game planning?
Yeah.
Or what's that look like?
No, I do the assigning because everybody's personality is different. You know, I don't think there's some things assistant coaches aren't ready to do. They're not the head coach. They can do a lot of head coaching things, but like I want the guy that I think is does the best job, the most thorough job, is going to put the time and energy and go the extra mile in terms of scouting or game prep. I want him to have the hardest teams. Because you're a really good team doesn't mean you're a hard scout. You know, sometimes the really, really good teams are easiest teams to scout because they just got good players. They don't run anything tricky. You know, they just line up and, you know, we're getting ready to give it to the fullback, stop us. Whether you can or can't, that's up to you. But we have some really good coaches in our league that require one of my rules is you have to watch the last 5 games. You know, this time of year, we don't have time to go watch Ohio State's games in November and December. This time of year, you are who you are recently. So you go watch their last 5 games, and then I want somebody that's going to take the time to go look at every close game they've had, say, in conference season. What did they do with under 30 seconds left, they called timeout. What did they run? They needed a 3, what did they run? They needed a 2, what did they run? If it's baseline out of bounds. Not every assistant will be thorough maybe in something like that. So that's why as a coach I assign the games. Now once they do the games, I let them use their creativity in scouting reports. I don't have a template for that.
In the back.
Yeah, Paul Keels from WBNS Radio in Columbus. Kelvin, having been to the NCAA tournament a number of times over the years, is there still a point of making it special for yourself, coaching staff, players, while also dealing with the things like the quick turnaround and things like that?
Absolutely. This is a great experience for these kids, and I want them to know how special it is. And I don't care what school you come from. It doesn't matter. I've been to the NCAA tournament in the it was the Pac-10 then. Pac-10, Big 12, Big 10, American Athletic Conference. It's all the same. There is no difference. It's all the same. When you're sitting in front of that television and you get little butterflies, and all of a sudden they say in the Midwest Regional, the 3 seed, the University of Houston, and here comes the euphoria. The only difference is cell phones. Back in the Pac-10 days, no cell phones back then. Just that's a lot different. I guess that just shows how old I'm getting, I guess. But I still like to see the excitement. Like this morning when we came down for the coaches met early this morning on some scouting report stuff, watch film. But just seeing the kids come down for breakfast and just talking to them and asking them, what was the experience like? It's just seeing their excitement in their eyes. They're different, because this is different. You never, and it could be gone just like that. And the thing that's always I've never gotten used to is the finality of the last game. Texas Tech's going to play Buffalo. I mean, think how good those two teams are. Somebody's season is going to be over. They're done. No more scouting reports, no more practice, no more meetings, no more. It's over. And then you're lost. You don't know what to do with your time. We play Ohio State tomorrow night at 7:40. They've got a good team. We've got a good team. But one of those teams, when they get up Monday morning, you're not going to go to practice Monday morning. You're not going to have any more staff meetings with this particular team. You think about the seniors. It's all those things that make going to the tournament special. So, and we try to do some neat little things for these kids. To have as mementos, just things that they can remember, because they'll remember this for the rest of their life. Because I got a call yesterday from a kid that played for me at a former school that actually this morning, he saw us play last night. He played for me 20-some years ago, and he says he still remembers. Good news is I still remember. I still remember.
We have about 7 minutes left in this session. We have 3 questions up. 1, 2, and 3. Go.
Kelvin Bryan Smith, Houston Chronicle. Ohio State, physical Big Ten basketball. Do you expect a game like that, or is that? And you dealt with Michigan last year in the second round, or is that idea outdated in this modern age?
What is with this team, because of the Weston kid? He's big and strong and physical. The fact that he's big and strong and physical is not what makes him really good. It's his basketball IQ. He's got great hands. He understands how to play, and they do a good job playing through him. They put you in positions where you have to play him one-on-one sometime. The kid that we've played that's similar to him was last year, the kid for Wichita State, Shaq Morris. Very similar. Shaq wasn't as skilled as this kid. He couldn't step out and make a 3, for instance. Wasn't going to lead the team in assists from the 5 spot. But he could score the ball just as good. But we haven't seen a kid that his size, that can post you, pass it, shoot it, score it like him. But I'm not sure a lot of leagues have that. I don't think it has anything to do with the conference they're in. I think it's unique to that kid. He's a really good player.
Ohio State was saying last night that over the last 2 weeks, they've become more aligned to the system. The buy-in has been there. What does buy-in mean to you, and how challenging is that to get everyone doing what they're supposed to do at this time of year?
Well, I think it all comes down to accountability and demand. I think the most difficult thing for coaches is confrontation, because a lot of coaches are passive-aggressive people. They're afraid to confront. Most people don't succeed because of that one thing. I see it all the time. They're afraid to confront. because they're afraid of failure, they're afraid of no, they're afraid of this, they're afraid of this. But the common denominator, they're afraid. Why would you be afraid? You talk about Tom Izzo. Tom Izzo's not afraid. He knows how he wants his team to play. He knows what he wants his team to look like. And he's going to hold you accountable. And he's going to demand that you do it right. To me, that's one of the common denominators of all successful people in any walk of life, is that they understand the importance and how to confront. So that's where buy-in starts. Because not every kid wants to. They want to do it their way. Well, I'm not interested in their way. Here's the way we do it. And the thing, your best friend is your senior leadership. And just because you have seniors don't mean that they're leaders. I've seen some of the worst leaders I've seen have been seniors over the years. It's just like maturity. Some of those immature people I've ever seen is between 40 and 65. Age has nothing to do with maturity, just like leadership doesn't have anything to do with seniority. That's where recruiting is important, but being able to evaluate in recruiting is just as important.
Coach, you take a lot of pride in what you've built here in U of H, but you've been asked this before, but when you're on this stage, what does it mean to take all of this in with your kids right there by your side? And this journey that you've been on with them, that they're able to enjoy this alongside you now at this point.
That's more important than anything. I wish my whole team could be up here, just being able to answer questions and see their name here and read their quotes. I think that's to me that's a good experience for them. You guys don't need to ask me anything else. I didn't need to come in here today. My man Brian started in on John Houston. That's when I knew the well was getting dry. He started asking me about the trainer. Good Lord. Just how deep is that well? But you think about it, wouldn't it be neat for kids that's, like you've seen Corey and Galen come in here? I've got 3 freshmen, all pretty good players. It'd be kind of neat for them to get interviewed. They'd pucker up a little bit, but, they see those cameras and see you guys, and, they wouldn't know whether it's pitching or catching, but it'd be neat for them to do it. That's kind of what, to me, it's all about. It's hard to win a game. It really is. It's hard to win a game. I remember early in the year we played at BYU and played really good and won. And then 3 days later, we almost lost to Rio Grande Valley. And God, we tried so hard in that game, but it just seems like we were running uphill the whole game. Just couldn't get any traction. But it wasn't because of lack of effort. And we wind up winning, but that was such a hard game for us to win. And in the non-conference, you see so many upsets. Well, we didn't get upset that night, but we probably should have. They outplayed us. They outcoached us. That guy did a great job. His name is Lou Hill. Boy, was his team well prepared. And my team was not. I didn't have them prepared. Not nearly as good as he did. And then when you get in his tournaments, it's, like we played Liberty last year. We lost to, I'm trying to remember who we lost to. We lost to somebody not very good. And then the next game we played Liberty. The most important win of the year last year was beating Liberty at Liberty. We were supposed to go to San Juan, no, not Puerto Rico. Where were we supposed to go? Virgin Islands. Where was you? Can remember, Mark, where were we supposed to, where's Duarte? Remember, Joseph, where were we? Yeah, it was, right, Hurricane. They had to relocate it to, we signed up for St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands, and we got Lynchburg, Virginia. Somewhere along the line, that wasn't a good, that was not good. I think we're at the Hampton, what's the name of that hotel, the Hampton Inn? Is that it? I think we're at the Hampton Inn. We had to go out and get our meals. That was a tough trip. But we played Liberty, and I was watching some highlights of Liberty's game in Mississippi State. Same kids. That was a hard game for us to win. Probably should have lost that one too. Corey Davis got a rebound, put it in to put us up 2 with like 30-some seconds to go. But all these teams have good players. They're just good players, especially guards. You know, that's why the Wesson kid stands out, because not everybody has a good big. You know, that's watching this morning. I didn't see Ohio State play all year long. Didn't know their players. I'm sure they had not seen us, and I doubt they knew who our players were either. Or Iowa State. But watching Iowa State and Ohio State, that was a hard matchup for Iowa State because they have nobody to guard Wesson. So Mississippi State, Liberty, Wofford, and who was that Wofford beat the other day? Who? Seton Hall, yeah. People think you should win those games. Man, those games are hard to play. You know, you got to play your best to win that night because those teams will. They only play one way, and that's good.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right.
See this? See this here? These are all the questions that your guys answered. They were busy. Hold on. Yeah, they did a good job. All right, I can't get them yet. Hold on a second. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Okay, one sec. Ohio State Buckeyes are here. They will play Houston in Game 2 Sunday evening. Musa Jallo and Andre Wesson represent the student body for Ohio State. We'll go right to questions. First question's right back there. Thank you.
Ron Stokes, WBNS Columbus. This is for both of you guys. Musa, first, your role obviously has changed as the season progressed. Just talk about how important it is for you to contribute in your different areas that you provide for the team. And Andre, just your relationship with your brother out there and playing together.
Like you said, it has evolved. My role is mainly, guarding one of the best players on the team, trying to slow them down, and then pick my spots on the offensive end and work on the boards and stuff like that. So I feel like the effort and the energy that I can bring to the team is extremely important for our team.
Yeah, playing with my brother, it's kind of a dream come true. It's something that we've always talked about since we were little, and to make that dream a reality is really a blessing.
Right back there. Thank you.
Paul Keels from WBNS Radio. For both of you guys, if you would just talk about last night's situation and others now when you're in tight games, the confidence of being able to make the big plays when you need to.
Andre, first, please.
Yeah, our whole mantra is just next play mentality. We knew they were going to make some big shots, and they're a real good team, so just flushing the play behind and just moving on, and that's what we were able to do with Keyshawn and Caleb, just making big plays down the stretch that just kept us moving on.
Musa, same question.
Oh.
Down the stretch, what do you do?
Yeah, just like what he said, we knew it was going to be a tough game. Most of these games in the tournament come down to the last seconds. So just keeping the poise and moving on to the next play and trying to make the right play.
Very smart class. Anything else for the Buckeyes? Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. Best of luck tomorrow. Head coach will be up shortly. Head coach of the Buckeyes is here, Chris Holtmann. We're going to have him make a statement on the day in between games here in Tulsa. Then we'll go to questions. Chris, please.
All right. Tremendous amount of respect for this Houston team to be sitting at 32-3. It's incredible. They've really had an incredible season. As I said last night, I think they're really one of the elite teams in the country. And so it's going to be a tremendous challenge for us to quickly prepare for, I think, one of the very best teams in the country. I think their body of work is clearly shown that. So, in this tournament, you're going to play really good teams every night. So we have a quick turnaround to that. The last thing I would add is, it's interesting. I saw just for a minute today, kind of on a side note, Kelvin's comments, maybe it was yesterday or today, regarding parents and travel. And I couldn't agree with him more. I'm not sure if you've seen his comments, but, you'd love as a coach for parents and immediate family members to be provided some way to travel, have their expenses paid for, their accommodations paid for. I just think it would be a really good thing for the NCAA as we move forward to just to consider, because you feel sometimes for families who are traveling and spending a lot of money to come and support their kids, and I think it would be certainly a great idea. So I just commend him for that thought. I thought it was a great thought.
Yeah, Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch. Speaking of Kelvin Sampson, he was in here talking about Tom Izzo. He's been in the news here lately. Just wonder, Chris, about your thoughts in terms of what do you think about that situation? Is it okay to be intense? Is this a societal issue where not so much we've gotten soft, but you have to be yourself, and Tom Izzo's being himself, I guess?
Yeah. I think that I've obviously you had to be in a cave to not see what you're discussing there with Tom. Tom's a Hall of Fame coach that has a track record that is up there with the very best that have really ever done it. And I think your point, Rob, to coaching to your personality, I think there's a lot of different ways to coach, and certainly different ways in which coaches determine how to hold kids accountable. And I think Tom has clearly shown, I said that to him last year in our first game against him. One of the things as a young coach that I had great appreciation for Tom was that he coached his best player just like he coached the ninth man on his team. There was no changing in how he coached his kids, and I think that speaks to his success. Now, you can argue optics and how that looks, and I get that we're in a different age now. There is a camera on us at all times, and sometimes the arena that we're in, it's not very nice at times, and it's a highly competitive field. And I think the reality is I've got incredible respect for him and what he's done, and it's clear that his kids do as well.
To you, how important is honesty in not being passive aggressive with guys and being upfront and getting them to understand, let's say, roles, because that really is kind of what it comes down to, is a kid understanding what he needs to do?
Well, I think there is no other way to coach kids. I think upfront, brutal, candid conversations are they build trust. I think they're paramount to having growth happen individually and with your team. And I think let's be honest, we're all in relationships here, and sometimes it's easier to not be honest. And I think that choice at the end of the day doesn't help either party. So I think candidness, brutal honesty, it's paramount for a team's growth.
Stay here.
I asked Kelvin Sampson and his players, 1 to 5, 1 being very mellow and 5 being very fiery. And his players said, what about 10? Where are you on that line? And I know you've changed through the years, but I guess where is that with you in terms of effectiveness and intensity?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think sometimes how we, Rob, perceive ourselves is different. One of the things that I try to do a lot is ask our staff, and I'll ask our players, what do you hear me saying? And I'll ask our staff, how did what I just communicate, and it could be a very brutal, direct conversation with the player, like how did that come off? Because I think I'm always wondering that, because what I think, how I think it's come off may be completely different. So I don't know what our players would say. I know people have come to practice at times and they've said, man, he's on edge today. And other times they've said, man, he's laid back. So maybe it depends on the practice for one. But I'm not sure what our players would say. I certainly think that they would say, I'll put it this way, I don't think they would put me at a 1. Okay, all right. Okay. Nor would I want to be a 1 for that matter.
Chris, was last night's game or even anything in an NCAA tournament the ultimate of what you've talked about before with guys being able to affect a game in a different way outside of being the leading scorer and things like that? Yeah,
I thought we had, we certainly had some guys have great individual performances. I thought Caleb and Keyshawn were tremendous in just their individual offensive performances, but we had a lot of other guys that made necessary, important plays. And if we're going to have a chance to beat Houston, we're going to need a collection of guys. They're clearly going to do their very best to take away some of the strengths of our team. So we have to find other ways to impact the game, and I think we saw that. Last night, CJ didn't shoot it hopefully as well as he will moving forward, but he made really important defensive plays, got his hands on a lot of balls and rebounded it, and still was attacking. I liked his aggressiveness. And Andre kind of did what Andre does. Without making shots, he impacts winning. The kid really impacts winning in a positive way. So you saw that with a number of guys.
Chris, Mark Berman from Fox Houston. Kind of an outside-the-box question. You have one kid on your team, Jaden Ledee, who's from Houston.
Yeah.
Given this situation, I know you're here to win a game. If the situation permits, because his family will be watching back home in Houston, would you try to find a way to get him in the game, maybe more so maybe than you hadn't in previous games?
We'll coach to win the game, whatever that looks like. So, Jay's a tremendous kid, but we'll coach to win every possession, and whatever that looks like, it looks like.
Players are saying over the last couple of weeks they've even become more aligned to the system, understanding their roles, buying in. What does buy-in mean to you? How do you get to that place? I would think that's one of the harder things in coaching. And is it better now than what it was early in the season, would you say?
Well, I do think that takes time, and I think I also think sometimes it needs to be validated by, and sometimes in kids' minds it needs to be validated by them seeing the success of that. Not always, but in some cases it does. Both success for maybe their individual growth, but certainly the team. I do think it's pretty good, and I think we've seen that here in the last couple weeks when our backs have been up against the wall and we've had to perform in pressure situations. I don't know that I've questioned our buy-in or our commitment to how we want to play a whole lot this year, or really in the 2 years. I think last year it was the buy-in was driven so much by those older guys, and it happened right after we had lost 3 out of 5, and they just said, we're going to commit to kind of doing it this particular way, and then from then on it was really good.
Along those lines, this word brotherhood gets thrown around, but it seems like that's happening too. I mean, guys are happy for other guys. CJ is really happy for Musa, what happened. Yeah. How important is that to where you want to be as sort of this whole structural, we're kind of all together into this thing?
Well, I think it begins with great kids who come from great families who, I say this a lot, but who want to play for Ohio State and who maybe they don't quite understand it when they arrive, what playing for Ohio State looks like. But as they grow in the program, they have a greater appreciation for what being a part of a team, the value of being a part of a team. We're in the locker room last night. We're talking as coaches, and you hear some of our staff and coaches talking about their memories playing in the NCAA tournament, the music that they used to come back after wins and dance to, the song still played in their head. Like, those are really special memories, and I think as you get older, you appreciate how important times like this are and the beauty of being a part of a team. So I do think there is a connection that happens when you have good kids who understand that they're a part of something great, or trying to be a part of something great. And I think we have that. I think we have tremendous young people. I think that appreciation and understanding what that looks like can take a little bit of time. But I really do like our guys. My college coach used to call it teamness, but I do like that right now.
Go.
Back to roles for just a second. How
Sure.
hard getting freshmen to come in who are the stars? Every kid that plays here is
Yeah.
a star of his team typically. To get into that role, I understand that maybe at some point during the season you actually had up on a screen or something, this is your role. Do you meet one-on-one with guys to say, this is your role, or how does that manifest? So the two questions there are, one, how difficult for a freshman to come in to not be the superstar and have to sort of deny himself, I guess, and then do you have those conversations about, this is what I need you to do?
Yeah, I think for freshmen, it's maybe the most challenging adjustment to college is that adjustment that takes place from being high volume in whatever. Usually, most freshmen are high volume. They're the guys that played the most minutes and took the most shots on their team, typically. Not always, but a lot of them. So that adjustment to now understanding what it looks like to blend in and to bring your current skills and ability and benefit the team is very difficult, because for whatever reason it gets lost on them that they were a freshman in high school one time. They forget. They just think their senior year in high school, their freshman year in college is going to look just like their senior year in high school. And you have to remind them, hey, you were a freshman once, and how much did you play on the varsity team? Well, I didn't. Yeah, that's my point. It's an adjustment. There is an adjustment, and if you do, all over the country, I think the other thing you do in situations, Rob, is you try to, you don't want to get in too many comparisons, but you do give them a reality check about this is happening all over the country. Just look at some of your buddies that you played against, played with even, and how you handle it will determine how successful you're going to be as a freshman. In terms of role identification, I think it's a constant and ongoing process. I don't believe I think you have to be careful that you're not limiting what you believe players can be from one month to the next. And I think, yet at the same time, I think playing to your strengths is what good players get and what average players don't ever figure out. And I think you're constantly trying to communicate that, to your guys. Yeah, I think they should have already, at this point, figured that out. I do think that takes that first month and a half, 2 months of the season, that is some figuring out. But I think at this point, and it does evolve because maybe there's an injury happens and the role changes. We need more, and that's happened with our team where we've had some injuries and some things where guys' roles have had to change a little bit. But if they don't have a pretty good understanding of that right now, then we haven't done a great job as coaches.
Anything else for the head coach of Ohio State?
Okay,
All right,
thank
Thank you. Best of luck. All right. Good luck, Chris. Thank you.